Recording. So let's begin with observing 30-second silence. Let's compose ourselves and be here totally. Yeah, so let's begin. Hopefully today we will be able to finish the Sarvopanishad, and there also was a question. There was a question in the group, I think. I'm not able to locate the question. Okay. Anything that anybody wants to say before we begin? Any question or any experience? Anything that happened with you in the last 1 week, which was different, which you feel is a resultant of becoming more centered, silence? Nothing, no one? It would be really nice to see and observe if these talks that we are engaging into, they are bringing some kind of silence within, some kind of centeredness, somewhere wherein difficult situations are also not really shaking us, because when the life is really good, when everything is going as per the plan with little things here and there, then these things do not really make much sense. They are more than like a gyan or something. Chalo अच्छा है, बात कर लेते हैं और मजा आता है. And many times we also feel कि सब कुछ ठीक तो है, क्या गड़बड़ है, मुझे क्यों जानना चाहिए ये सब. पर सब कुछ जो ठीक है, उस शांति को भंग करने के लिए बस एक न्यूज़ काफी होता है. And that tells us the entire reality of our being. So if you are able to observe any shift, even minuscule, and that is good, it would be really nice to hear, because that would be very encouraging for each one of us. Okay, so सर्वोपनिषद का आखिरी श्लोक, और हर एक श्लोक हमने देखा है कि पूरा पद काफी बड़ा है, That is all which is pending. We have looked into a lot of things through this Upanishad. Although this is a minor Upanishad, but as the name says, Sarvopanishad, it really contains everything. And now the last one is little, I was going through it to understand how do we express it, how do we understand it. And I found it very difficult to for me to articulate. And we'll see what we can gather from this. So last session, we understood what is inner self, what is Brahma, what is Kutastha, what is Satya, what is Jnana. And now the Rishi takes it ahead. And now this, I'll first read this entire thing. And Ananta, the infinite, as clay in modifications of clay, as gold in modifications of gold, as thread in fabrics of thread, the antecedent, all-pervading consciousness that is in all phenomena of creation, beginning with the unmanifested, is called the infinite. So the first part defines what infinite is. And Ananda, bliss, the essence of the consciousness of happiness, the ocean of measureless bliss, and the state of undifferentiated happiness is called bliss. So next comes the definition of bliss. That of which the above fourfold nature is an indication and which is permanent in all space, time, substance, and causation, is called the entity of that or Tat, Paramatman, Supreme Self, and Parabrahma, or the highest Brahma. So all these words for the same thing. So here comes the definition of Tat. Distinguished from the entity of Thou, possessed of attributes, as well as from the entity of that, possessed of attributes, that which is all pervading like the sky, subtle, whole by itself, pure existence, and entity of art. So Thou is, here comes the Mahavakya, Tat Tvam Asi, Thou is Tvam, and entity of art is Asi. So we will get into all this in little detail. Self-humaness is spoken of as the Atman. The entity of non-that also is spoken of the Atman. That which is beginningless, fruitful, open to both proof and disproof, neither real nor unreal, nor real unreal, non-existent, when because of the immutability of its own substratum, the cause of change is ascertained. Existence, when it is not so ascertained, which is undefinable, is called Maya. That's the end of the Upanishad. So let's get into each one of these words, which is infinite, Ananta, Ananda or bliss, supreme self, that is Tat, Tvam, and Asi, and Atman, and then Maya. Let us get into all these words now. So the first part, and Ananta, the infinite, as does clay in modification of clay, as gold in modification of gold, as thread in fabrics of thread, the antecedent, all-pervading consciousness that is in all the phenomena of creation, beginning with the unmanifested, is called the infinite. So how is the infinite being defined? There is gold, and there are various jewelry of gold. So we call them with different names. There is Kangan, there is Kantahar, there is tika, there is earrings, there are so many things. But what is the fundamental to all? Although all of them have different usage, one would not wear bangle as a kantahar or a necklace. One would not wear the earring as a bangle. So they have their specific function. Yet all that they are made up of is gold. So the substratum is the same. Similarly, you have clay and there are various modifications. So you can have the glass plate, you can have the khatak. You've got so many things, but the substratum remains the same, which is clay. Similarly, taking the example of thread and various manifestation of thread in different clothes, in different color patterns, different textures. But what is the substratum? The thread. And the Rishi says that this substratum itself, which was there even before the beginning, that is in all the phenomena of creation, beginning with the unmanifested. So even when there was no manifestation, yet it was there. The gold remains there even if it is not converted into various shapes and things. The clay remains there even if it is not converted into various things. Similarly, what was there even when all this expression, all this manifestation was not there? Now, for mind to cognize that all this manifestation was not there is not an easy task. For mind, shapes and forms are the reality. That is how, in fact, mind knows that even it exists. So the subject-object duality comes into picture. I know that I exist because there are so many things which tell me that I exist. How? I can see the book. So my being able to see the book is a proof that there is something in me which is capable of seeing, which I call as I. I can touch the book. So there is something touching which I get to know that I have a capability of feeling the touch. And similarly for all the senses. So if all this is absent and there is just nothing and it's just me there, I would not even get to know that I exist when I look from the level of senses. Until and unless I have gone that internal, that I am blossoming as Aham Brahmasmi, that is my reality, that's where I am coming from. Until and unless that is happening, I would always require external things to ensure my own existence. So, although we really do not see things like that, but if you remember, there is this saying, जंगल में मोर नाचा किसने देखा? याद है? क्यों कहते हैं जंगल में मोर नाचा किसने देखा? नाच रहा होगा अभी भी जंगल में मोर, पर क्या मुझे पता है कि वाकई किसी जंगल में कोई मोर नाच रहा है? तो वो भले एग्जिस्ट करता होगा, लेकिन क्या मेरे लिए उसकी कोई सत्ता है? Does it exist for me? It does not. And that is why I have no clue if something of this kind is happening. And this is the dependence of duality. So I get to know about things when, or I get to know about myself when I see various things. They are actually And this is very subtle. If you can become a little conscious of this, this has the capability of bringing some amazing shift in you. To know that I get attached to everything because everything is actually important for my own existence. It is through them that I am defining my existence. And all this is happening so subtly that we don't even consciously notice all this. So even when this duality is not there, whatever remains, that is infinite, because then that is all which is. And because there is no manifestation, so there is no beginning, there is no end. So one does not know where from things begin and where from things end. And that is why the Rishi is defining infinite as something that becomes the substratum, the phenomena of creation beginning with the unmanifested is called the infinite. Is this okay with everyone? Okay. And Ananda, bliss, the essence of the consciousness of happiness, the ocean of the measureless bliss, and the state of undifferentiated happiness is called bliss. What is the state of undifferentiated happiness? Consciousness of happiness, the ocean of measureless bliss, and the state of undifferentiated happiness. We again go back to duality. Happiness and sadness, they go together. If there is something happy, there definitely is something sad. Let's take, for example, the Dashera Puja came, the Navratra came. Everybody was excited, doing preparation, enjoyed for 9 days, 10 days, whatever. And then it is over. And the moment the celebration is over, all of us is sudden we feel that, oh, it's done, it's gone. And there is a pinch of sadness. Now this sadness will be in the same magnitude as was the happiness. If you were super excited in the beginning, you will be super sad when it goes. If you were moderately excited in the beginning, you will be moderately sad. And if you were equanimous that it's okay, it is coming, we will do whatever is needed to have this celebration. Because you have been able to create that sense of detachment. Then even when it goes, that detachment will remain and you will be able to see that it is going and it will not really cause any unhappiness. So when the Rishi says undifferentiated happiness, all he is trying to say is irrespective of happiness or sadness, irrespective of the duality of happiness or sadness, what remains is bliss. So bliss is not something which is dependent on one's happiness or sadness. Bliss has nothing to do with happiness. Normally, in our everyday general parlance, we have these degrees of happiness. And the most superlative, even superlative ka bhi superlative. Something like that, we tend to feel like bliss. Bliss is like topmost. But no, bliss is not something of the same plane. It is not something of the same world. And that is why Rishi is saying undifferentiated happiness, despite the fact that wherever you are, even if you're feeling sad, even if you're feeling low, even if you're feeling lonely, what you still can experience is bliss. Bliss remains despite sadness and happiness. And if you will look at where then this happens? This looks to be so impractical, so undoable kind of thing. Is it possible that I'm not happy and I still feel blissful? Then you will discover that there is something called faith which is taking place in you. And this faith says that despite whatever the situation is, I am being taken care of and I'm all right. And then when that happens, you experience a very beautiful peace. And that is where, and that actually will give you some glimpse of bliss. Yeah, Komaji.
Yeah, thank you, Richa, for just wanted to you can say you were saying Navratra came and then we were so happy and then sadness came. So if you are not excited, you will not be sad also if you are in the balanced state of mind. So the same thing happened yesterday to make it more clear what you said. So I just wanted to share that. Like my son is getting married next month. So quite busy in that celebration hoga ye hoga bahu aayegi ghar mein, like my daughter-in-law is coming home. So my husband was telling, aren't you super excited that this is happening, celebration hoga? No, it's okay, aa jayegi to kya ho gaya itna, like I was so cool and he was so excited. तो मुझे लगा कि पता नहीं am I wrong कि मुझे कुछ इतना नहीं हो रहा है, ठीक है, it is happening, so चलता है. तो अभी सुन के लगा कि it's okay कि whatever I am feeling, it's not that I have to be super excited because a very different thing is happening at home. Everybody is busy and preparing and all. I'm also doing it, but I'm not super excited. Just I was wanted to share when you shared that. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Please, you can carry on.
And even if you feel super excited and you can watch it from a distance that you're super excited, you will see that your excitement is not taking over you. So you will still be centered, and yet that excitement will happen. And hence, because of this centeredness, when the event would have happened, the duality will not take over. Because you're not watching or experiencing the excitement in the same plane of the duality. And that is very interesting. In fact, a lot of us get very scared when something of this kind happens. Oh my God, मेरे साथ क्या हो गया? मैं इतनी दुखी क्यों हूँ? मुझे आसपास वाले सब टोक रहे हैं. In fact, instead of that centeredness, it in fact somewhere it shakes us कि क्या गड़बड़ है ये? मैं बाकियों की तरह enjoy क्यों नहीं कर पा रही हूँ? मैं दूसरों की तरह महसूस क्यों नहीं कर पा रही हूँ? जैसा आपने कहा कोमल जी की कुछ गड़बड़ है क्या? नहीं. दूसरे जब आपको टोक रहे हैं इस बारे में, तो इसको एक बड़ा अच्छा इंडिकेशन समझिए that you have started to move on. And the best thing that happens is that when difficult situation comes, you still stay centered. And that's why I love quoting Kabir on this when he says that दुख में सुमिरन सब करे, सुख में करे ना कोई, जो सुख में सुमिरन करे तो दुख काहू को. To be out of this plane of duality, faith is needed. Because we do not know the events that will happen in life. कुछ पता नहीं है जीवन में कब क्या कैसे कहाँ होगा. तो ग्राफ तो चल ही रहा है ना, आज ऊपर है तो कल नीचे भी जाएगा. किस कारण से नीचे जाएगा कुछ मालूम नहीं है. और फिर वहां पर नहीं हिलना बड़ी सुंदर बात हो जाती है. That of which the above fourfold nature. सो जो फोरफोल्ड नेचर की बात की जा रही है वो है ज्ञान, सत्य, इन्फिनिटी एंड ब्लिस। तो ज्ञान और सत्य हमने पिछले सत्र में देखा था, एंड वी जस्ट looked at infinite and bliss, that of which the above fourfold nature is an indication. So these things loosely indicate what supreme self or Brahma is. They will not be able to exactly tell you. And this will also happen because words are always so incomplete. Words that are spoken are so always incomplete. When you will go to Ved to understand how words came and how every akshara has a meaning, you know, the rishis have given 4 levels of sound. The topmost level is called para. Para is beyond, so that refers to silence. When there is silence, then the speech which is happening in that silence, if you are able to hear that, if you're able to live that, that is called para. When one drops down, the next level is called pashyanti. Pashyanti is when the sound of silence can be seen by you. You can actually see the or perceive the or visualize the sound. That is what they call pashyanti. Now you will get to know the intuitive meaning of the word. Yeah. Komal, you are on in mute.
Can you just explain this a little bit? Pashyanti means how can you see the sound? Can you मतलब sound को देखना? What do you mean by that? Like listening, I know that sound is there, and even I am able to listen to that. But seeing that sound, what do you mean by that?
So when you go to the Sanskrit, what makes this language so special? संस्कृत, हमारी जो हिंदी की वर्णमाला है उसमें शब्दों को अक्षर कहा गया है ना? जो जितने लेटर्स होते हैं उनको अक्षर कहते हैं. सॉरी, नॉट शब्द, जो लेटर्स हैं उनको अक्षर कहते हैं. अक्षर का क्या मतलब होता है? अक्षर का मतलब होता है, ये आता है अक्षय से, जिसका क्षय नहीं हो सकता, मतलब जो कभी खत्म नहीं हो सकता. That can, which can never be harmed or which can never go off. So that which is permanent, which always is. Where does this word akshar comes into picture? So it said that rishis who were in that state of aham brahmasmi, one with the cosmos, one with the world, they were able to perceive everything intuitively what was there in the universe, in the cosmos. And these sounds, ये चाहे अ आ इ ई पूरी वर्णमाला जो है, ये कॉस्मोस में थी, ये किसी ने बनाई नहीं है. It was already there. All that was done by the rishis was they could, जैसे कि रेडियो स्टेशन है ना, चैनलाइज्ड हो गया तो वहां की साउंड पकड़ ली. So rishis could take that sound and then intuitively they understood. In fact, when you will go to understand Sanskrit in its depth, हिंदी के भी शिक्षकों को ये मालूम होना चाहिए, हर एक अक्षर का एक अर्थ होता है. अ का अर्थ है, क का अर्थ है, य का अर्थ है, हर एक अक्षर का. मैं आपको एक बहुत सिंपल एग्जांपल देती हूँ. जैसे ख ग कहते हैं ना, ख शब्द का अर्थ एक्सपेंशन होता है. जहां कहीं भी एक्सपेंशन आएगा वहां पर ख का प्रयोग होता है. और ग का शब्द अर्थ होता है गति. So wherever there is movement, that is what ga indicates. Now how these meanings come, this will only happen when you are in that meditative state all the time. Otherwise, you will only have to listen to and accept it. But you can actually experience it when you are in that meditative state. So, khaga, which we use for the bird, खग हम कहते हैं जो आकाश में उड़ता है, तो जिसमें गति है और एक्सपैंड क्या है, आकाश एक्सपैंड से, जो एक स्थान से दूसरे स्थान जा सक रहा है। तो इस तरीके से हर एक शब्द आए हैं। दंड एक शब्द है, दंड का अर्थ होता है सहारा, दैट विच गिव्स यू स्ट्रेंथ और सपोर्ट, जबकि हम दंड को पनिशमेंट के लिए भी यूज करते हैं। Why? क्योंकि दंड का अर्थ है वो that helps one to learn something, improve on something. So when we give dand to somebody, our intention is that they should be able to improve upon that. तो ये जो पनिशमेंट है वो एक्चुअली उनके लिए सहारे का काम करना चाहिए ताकि वो इन चीजों को सीख सके। तो अगर मैं किसी बच्चे को पनिशमेंट देती हूँ, दंड देती हूँ, तो उस दंड का जो फाइनल आउटकम होना चाहिए वो ये कि वो बच्चा उससे सीख ले। And these are the ways how the words came into existence. So there is an entire science to it. This is why Sanskrit is called such a scientific language. No word exists without logic and explanation. Not a single letter.
That is why those mantras also, it said, they have a vibration and they impact you because they are from the universe. You are receiving the energy from the universe when you are chanting.
Absolutely.
Maybe it's because of that.
Absolutely. So words, when you will look at Vedic rishis, so they say that if you can dwell in para, which is the primordial sound, which is nothing but silence, पूरे ब्रह्मांड की उत्पत्ति कहाँ से हुई? अनहद नाद कहा जाता है। बाइबल में भी आप जाते हो तो वो साउंड की बात करते हैं। तो गूंज का बड़ा महत्व है, उस आवाज का बड़ा महत्व है। तो ऋषि कहते हैं यदि आप वहां पहुंच गए जहां पर वो शांति है, that silence is there, where from everything is actually coming up, then you are in para. The next level is Pashyanti. That's where you can convert that intuitively, giving meaning to it. So now you're understanding it with the help of your buddhi. Then there is Madhyama. That's the next level. So in Madhyama, you have now converted all the intuitive things that you have seen into certain language, and the last level is called Vaikhari, which is the expression that we use. जो हम बातचीत करते हैं, जो हम बोलते हैं, जिनको हम शब्द कहते हैं, हम जो आवाजें सुनते हैं, that sound जो वेव फॉर्म में हम जानते हैं, उसको ऋषि वैखरी कहते हैं। एंड इन सर्टेन वे वैखरी को नॉइज भी कहा जाता है। इफ one is able to convert this Vaikhari into para by becoming meditative, going up from Vaikhari to Madhyama to Pashyanti and then to para, then the word itself becomes your source of meditativeness, your source of moving into Aham Brahmasmi. And that is why the Rishi is saying that all these fourfold nature is an indication, because these are words, so they are noise. They can be indicative. They will not give you the exact experience, meaning, or whatever you want to say. But they still have this great capability to indicate what is. And hence they are very beautiful. So that of which the above fourfold nature is an indication, and which is permanent in all space, time, substance and causation. So in everything, समय, काल, causation, कारण, कार्य कारण, उन सब में वो जो है उसको that या तत् कह रहे हैं. तो यहाँ पर तत्वम असि का अर्थ स्पष्ट कर रहे हैं ऋषि. तो पहले तत्व का अर्थ बताते हैं कि वो जो इन सब के होने के बावजूद भी है, और जिसको कि ये जो 4 शब्द हमने देखे, which is सत्य, ज्ञान, अनंत एंड आनंद, ये चारों जिसकी ओर इंडिकेट कर रहे हैं, जिसको इंगित कर रहे हैं, जिसकी ओर इशारा कर रहे हैं, उस एंटिटी को दैट या तत् कहते हैं. उसी तत्व के और भी नाम बता रहे हैं. परमात्मन, सुप्रीम सेल्फ, परा ब्रह्म और दी हाईएस्ट ब्रह्म. आप जिस नाम से पुकार लें, वो सब एक ही चीज की ओर इशारा करते हैं. Distinguished from the entity of thou. Who is thou? तत् त्वम. ये त्वम thou है. तो त्वम क्या है? Tvam is the one which is possessed of attributes. That is that which is devoid of all attributes or is beyond all attributes. And tam is just the opposite. It possesses so many attributes. And what attributes it possesses? It not only possesses the attributes of time, space, causation, and substance, it also possesses the attributes of that. So तुम जो है, इसके पास सिर्फ समय, काल, causation की, इसके कारण से ये हुआ, उसके कारण से वो हुआ, and substance which is taking the gross form. सिर्फ यही उसके एट्रीब्यूट्स नहीं है, यही उसके लक्षण नहीं है, यही उसकी विशेषताएं नहीं है. उसकी विशेषता दैट भी है, तत्व भी है. और इसीलिए कहा जाता है कि you are existing through all this, which is time, space, substance and causation, but come in touch with that in you which is expression of that. अपने में उस केंद्र को जानिए जो उसको इंगित करता है. So that is thou. That which is all pervading like the sky, subtle, whole by itself, pure existence, the entity of art, जिसको असि कह रहे हैं. असि का अर्थ होता है. तत् त्वम असि, तुम भी वही हो. तत् वही, त्वम तुम भी, असि हो. तत् त्वम असि, तुम भी वही हो. तुम कौन हो? तुम भी ब्रह्म ही हो. हाँ जी, बोलिए.
What is the purpose of this gross existence? Why who was that who planned all that and said कि चलो ये माया, ये किसके mind में है? I know that is all pervading. There is one Paramatman who is. But what was the need of all that? What is happening in the world? Like gross चीजें जो आई हैं, उसका क्या जरूरत क्या थी? And what is the purpose of all that? Anything, if like something came to the mind, I just asked. Thank you.
इसी को माया कहते हैं. इसकी कोई जरूरत नहीं थी. माया आवश्यकता के कारण नहीं होती है. माया बस होती है. वो एक खेल है. आपको याद है हमने कहा था कि
किसने रचा ये खेल?
आपको याद है हमने एक बार द बुक की बात करी थी, जिसमें एलन वॉट ने ये कहानी कहा था कि उसने अपने आप को जानने के लिए, सब्जेक्ट जानने के लिए सब्जेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट डुअलिटी चाहिए ना।
अच्छा,
आप कैसे जानोगे? ब्लैक को ब्लैक जानने के लिए उस कोई कॉन्ट्रास्टिंग कलर होना चाहिए ना, तभी तो काला को काला जान पाओगे। अगर सब जगह काला है तो क्या काला कोई रंग है ऐसा जान पाओगे? क्योंकि काला के अलावा कुछ होता है क्या, इसका कुछ पता ही नहीं होगा। तो काले को समझने के लिए कुछ चाहिए जो कंट्रास्टिंग हो, जो
काले को समझना ही क्यों है? क्यों समझना था काले को?
तो इसको आप उसका खेल समझ लीजिए, इसी को लीला कहते हैं। उसकी इच्छा हुई कि वो जानना चाहता है कि मैं कौन हूं, तो उसने अपने इतने सारे रूप बना दिए, इतने सारे रूप बना दिए, which are all contrasting, which are all different. And the purpose of this game is to come back to him, to know him. That's all. इसका आप कोई कारण कभी नहीं दे पाएंगे कि ये सब क्यों है, इसका कोई कारण आप नहीं दे पाएंगे। जो कारण से पीछे की बात है उसका कारण कैसे होगा? That which is beyond causation, how will there be any cause of that?
If he is only doing everything, he is, उन्होंने ये खेल रचा, सब कुछ हुआ, but some people are able to realize and some people are not being able to realize. What is the fault of those who are not being able to realize? वो भी तो he only wants ना कि these people should realize and these people should not realize. That is his decision only.
Good one.
Then
I used to say this जब when I was very young, college going, I used to say कि जब कहते हैं कि हर पत्ता ईश्वर की इच्छा से हिलता है, तो मेरे साथ जो बुरा हो रहा है, the so called बुरा, वो भी तो उसकी इच्छा से हो रहा है, तो उसका दंड मैं क्यों भोगूं? उसको भोगना चाहिए।
मतलब similar to that. अब उनको पता ही नहीं है, तो हमारी क्या गलती है?
No, I think that is where, that contrast comes in. We create that contrast in our mind. This is white and this is black. So when we think this is black, then we feel that is bad. And when we feel this is white, then we feel that is good. So I think that is the contrast which is there in our mind.
Great. So if you are not able to realize, the only fault is that instead of becoming one pointed in him, you are getting lost in the variety which has been created by Maya. And because you are standing,
he only wants it.
he does not want. When he gave you an existence, he gave you that freedom to choose even bondage. He leaves you that free. He has no interest in actually interfering. How should I run my life? कृष्ण जो है, जब अर्जुन और धृतराष्ट्र कह रही हूँ, दुर्योधन दोनों आए थे कृष्ण के पास युद्ध से पहले कि आप हमारी तरफ से लड़िए, प्रस्ताव लेकर के, याद है? कृष्ण ने किसी को नहीं कहा था कि मैं तुमको चुनता हूं। भले अर्जुन उसके प्रिय हैं और अर्जुन को उन्होंने पहले देखा क्योंकि अर्जुन उनके पांव के पास बैठे थे, किंतु कृष्ण ने ये नहीं कहा कि अर्जुन मैं तुम्हें चुनता हूं, कि मैं तुम्हारी तरफ से लड़ूंगा। उन्होंने चॉइस दे दिया कि भाई मैं हूं और मेरी नारायणी सेना है, मैं शस्त्र नहीं उठाऊंगा, तुम जिसको चुनना चाहो चुन लो। और ये घटना हमारे साथ हर पल घटती है। तुम जिसको चुनना चाहो चुन लो, तुम क्लैरिटी को चुनना चाहो, बोध को चुनना चाहो चुन लो, तुम माया को चुनना चाहो चुन लो। अब कैसे पता चले कि हम चुन क्या रहे हैं? ये हमारा 24 घंटा बताएगा। हम कहाँ खोए हुए हैं, हम किन चीजों में मजा ढूंढ रहे हैं, हमें कौन सी बातें खुशी दे रही हैं, आनंदित कर रही हैं, हमारा कर्ता भाव कैसा है, ईगो कैसा है, अहंकार कैसा है, या हम में कुछ है जो सदा समर्पित रहता है और सदा कहता है कि ठीक है ना, वो अच्छे दिन थे वो भी उसके, ये बुरे दिन है वो भी उसके, तो वो हिलता ही नहीं। जैसे मेरा
Richa,
हाँ
here,
जी, हाँ जी शोभा जी।
something in a very layman term, if somebody wants, to say that somebody has just 4 saris and is satisfied wearing all those 4 saris and is done with it. And somebody has a range of saris and wants to wear each one of them. Sari pehenni hai. So it's like, if you want to experience all roles, तो आप वो माया में घूम के सारी साड़ियां पहन के पहुंच जाओगे। और अगर आप कहोगे कि यार 2 पहन ली सारी, बाकी भी ऐसे ही होंगी, चलो अब रहने देते हैं, बाकियों को पहनने देते हैं, सो देन यू रीच फास्टर, आपका बोध भाव उसमें सेटिस्फाइड हो जाता है। सो आई सपोज
वेरी नाइस,
दैट इज व्हाट हाउ माया कैन।
यस, आप चाहे तो आप साड़ियों में खो जाएं, तो आपके पास 100 भी होंगी तो वो पर्याप्त नहीं होंगी, इवन दैट विल नॉट बी सफिशिएंट। और अगर आप साड़ियों के आगे कुछ देख पाएंगे तो 2 भी काफी।
नहीं, उसमें भी रीजन है ना, 2 साड़ी से एक दुकानदार का भला होगा, 100 साड़ी से बहुत सारे दुकानदारों का भला होगा।
आप भला किसका करने चले हैं? और क्या आप किसी का भला कर सकते हैं? ऐसा आपने कैसे अहंकार पाल लिया कि आपने किसी का भला कर?
What the Maya is, na, because we think we are
this
getting
is
lot of industries
this is the ahankar that we. So
that
this
is
is
what
the
I'm saying. When we say that, no, it is not about ahankar. It is about the way
it is
we
about
actually
ahankar कि
develop.
हम किसी का भला कर रहे हैं, ये हमारा अहंकार है कि हम
मुझे क्या लगता है ना, लाइक अभी हम लोग, मैं एक एग्जांपल देती हूँ।
Talking about the process, when you buy 100 sarees, you're actually giving more work to other people. That is where it is coming from. Not मैं किसी का भला कर रहा हूँ, मैं ये नहीं बोल रहा हूँ. So I'm talking about the process of getting engaged with more people,
Yes.
and then that is where I think Richa was saying कि आप 100 साड़ी के बाद क्या सोचते हो? That is where I'm coming from.
अरविंद, इसमें ना कैच है,
Even मैं इसको Richa, before you speak, let me speak one word here, one line. कि अभी क्या है कि हम लोग बहुत परचेजिंग कर रहे हैं, बहुत खर्चा हो रहा है, शादी है घर में या कुछ, तो मुझे लगता है क्या जरूरत है इतना खर्चा करने का, इतना कम में भी चल सकता है ना, ये सब इतना महंगा ड्रेस लेना, ये थोड़ा कम में भी ले। मुझे लगा ये मनी जो इधर पड़ा है, इसको अगर इसमें यूज हो रहा है तो मेनी पीपल आर गेटिंग, आई एम डिस्ट्रीब्यूटिंग द मनी टू मेनी पीपल, सो व्हाट इज रॉन्ग इन दैट? शॉपकीपर और जो बना रहा है उसको सैलरी मिल रहा है, तो इट्स ओके ना। सो इट्स द सेम थिंग व्हाट अरविंद इज सेइंग ना, कि बाय डूइंग दैट ये इनडायरेक्टली भला भी हो रहा है ना उसमें।
आप ही लोग की वजह से तो इकोनॉमी चल रही है।
बात ये नहीं है, बात ये नहीं है।
Government of India food index has come down, so that is where how will you distribute wealth?
No, that is not the point. Point is आप चीज इसलिए नहीं खरीद रहे हैं कि किसी का भला हो रहा है. You have to see the intention behind. कोमल जी, आप जो शादी का सामान किस लिए खरीद रही हैं? आप इसलिए नहीं खरीद रही हैं कि किसी का भला हो रहा है, आप इसलिए खरीद रही हैं कि किसी को एक अच्छा प्रेजेंट देना है, या आपकी डॉटर इन लॉ को कुछ देना है, या आप किसी की शादी में गई थी तो आपको एक अच्छा ट्रीटमेंट मिला तो आप भी वैसा ट्रीटमेंट देना चाहती हैं, या आप किसी को अपने घर बुला रही हैं तो एक लेवल, तो दैट इज योर इंटेंशन. दिस इज अ बाय प्रोडक्ट कि इकोनॉमी रोटेट हो रही है.
That is the first point. I agree with you. I'm not doing for that, but it is happening automatically. That's why it came. So I'm just giving excuse.
But what is your intention? The point is that The
That's
point of this study is what is your intention, The
Yeah.
point of the study is not that कि बाय प्रोडक्ट क्या है, और अगर बाय प्रोडक्ट खराब है तो आप कितना भी चाह रही हैं आपको फिर भी नहीं करना चाहिए. That's another angle, but here
Right.
we are I think talking differently. I am
Yeah.
sorry.
No, it's okay. It's perfect.
No
Perfect.
problem.
No
It's
worries,
just
no
a healthy discussion we are doing, and I'm perfectly fine. Thank you.
No, it is actually there is
इसमें
one
अरविंद
beautiful,
रुकिए रुकिए. अच्छा बोलिए. One.
नहीं, मैं कह रहा हूँ, it was, one beautiful line I remember from my PT sir, when we were in class 7, he said 1G and 9 M's. So 1G stands for God made man, man made money, money made man mad. So, we are all in that Maya, so that is where Maya comes.
Okay. So behind all this there is a catch. आप भला तो करना चाहते हैं पर आपको भले का मतलब मालूम है. 2 शब्द आते हैं वेदों में भी और बुद्ध ने भी इसकी चर्चा करी है. There is a word called हित. हितकर क्या है? And there is a word called श्रेयस्कर क्या है? Sorry, श्रेयस्कर and प्रिय. प्रिय क्या है और श्रेयस्कर क्या? तो जो हितकर है वही श्रेयस्कर है. प्रिय क्या है? भाई मुझे बड़ा अच्छा लगेगा, मैंने साड़ियां खरीद ली और मुझे लगा कि मैंने किसी की इनकम में कंट्रीब्यूट कर दिया, उसको भी बड़ा मजा आया कि उसकी इनकम बढ़ गई. ये तो गेम ऑफ इकोनॉमिक्स, गेम ऑफ माया या गेम ऑफ ग्रॉस फॉर्म चल रहा है. पर श्रेयस्कर क्या है? श्रेयस्कर वो है, जब आप उपनिषदों के पास जाएंगे तो वो बताएंगे आपको कि वो जो आपको बोध देता है, जो आपको बुद्धत्व की ओर ले जाता है. तो श्रेयस्कर जो है वो प्रिय हो, that which really is, श्रेयस्कर is श्रेष्ठ, that which really is good, that will also be lovable is not necessary. एक बच्चे के लिए पढ़ना जरूरी है, पर क्या पढ़ना उसे पसंद है ये एक दूसरी बात है. पर आप उसे पढ़ाते हैं क्योंकि आप जानते हैं कि उसके लिए पढ़ना अनिवार्य है, जरूरी है. बोध का एक रास्ता वहां से भी खुल सकता है. तो आपने साड़ियां खरीद ली, इसमें इकोनॉमी तो बूस्ट हो गई, पैसे तो आ गए, पर हुआ क्या? उसमें उसका सिर्फ एक्यूमुलेटिव माइंडसेट और बढ़ेगा. उसने कोई जाकर के गंगा में थोड़ी बहा देना है कि भाई इससे मुझे बड़ा बोध मिल गया, मुझे बुद्धत्व की ओर जाने का रास्ता मिल गया. अब वो क्या करेगा? उसे और प्रोडक्शन चाहिए. देखिए इसका ना एक पूरा बैक ट्रैप होता है. और मैं आपको एक बहुत क्रूड एग्जांपल देती हूँ. When I'm coming to something that people hate talking about, non-vegetarian food. KFC चल रही है, लोगों को नॉन वेजिटेरियन फूड चाहिए, तो KFC ने कहा कि भाई तुम्हें नॉन वेजिटेरियन फूड पसंद है तो मैं तुम्हें इतनी वेराइटीज ऑफ नॉन वेजिटेरियन फूड दूंगा. तो हम चले गए, हमने तो इकोनॉमी घुमा दी कि भाई KFC का भी भला हुआ, KFC अपने एम्प्लॉइज को पैसा दे रहा है, उनकी जिंदगियां चल रही हैं. लेकिन KFC उतनी सारी नॉन वेजिटेरियन फूड लाने के लिए क्या करेगा? वो जाएगा जानवरों को मारेगा. जानवरों को मारने के लिए वो क्या करता है? जो जानवर पैदा होते हैं वही थोड़ी मरते हैं. जानवरों की फार्मिंग की जाती है, बकायदा उनको पैदा करने की पूरी प्रक्रिया की जाती है. The way you grow grains, pulses, vegetables through artificial insemination and all such processes, you grow animals. Animals को grow करने के लिए आप क्या करेंगे? Animals को grow करने के लिए भाई उनके लिए जगह चाहिए. So you cleared forests. 70% of Amazon forest has been cleared only for animal farming purpose. तो उन जानवरों को पालने के लिए मुझे जगह चाहिए, तो मैं जंगल काटूंगी. जंगल काटूंगी और वो जानवर क्या, उनको खाना भी तो चाहिए, वो ऐसी थोड़ी पैदा होकर के चलेंगे. तो जो अनाज शायद मनुष्य खा सकता था वो मनुष्य के पास नहीं जाएगा, जबरदस्ती के पैदा किए हुए जानवरों के पास जाएंगे. और वो जानवर क्या करेंगे? वो जानवर अपने पू के थ्रू मीथेन गैस छोड़ेंगे. तो देखिए इस पूरे प्रक्रिया में कि मैंने तो इकोनॉमी का चक्का घुमा दिया, हमने असल में क्या क्या चीजों में कंट्रीब्यूट किया. आपको पता है कपड़ा वन ऑफ द सेकंड मोस्ट या थर्ड मोस्ट पोल्यूटिंग चीज है, क्योंकि हम हैंडलूम्स बहुत ज्यादा नहीं पहनते हैं, हम पहनते हैं सिल्क, तो सिल्क वर्म मारे जाते हैं, बनाए जाते हैं, उनको उबाला जाता है लिटरली. Imagine how it would feel that live silk worms they are being boiled. Then secondly, polyester, which has nothing but carbon components, which is plastic. तो हमको जितना कपड़ा चाहिए उतने कपड़े का प्रोडक्शन होगा, उतने प्लास्टिक का उत्पादन होगा, और हम पोल्यूशन में और भागीदारी करेंगे. तो हम वाकई इकोनॉमी का पहिया घुमा रहे हैं या हम कुछ और का पहिया घुमा रहे हैं? तो आगे में देखना और उसके पीछे जाके देखना, इसी को कहते हैं दृष्टि मेरी स्थूल है या दृष्टि मेरी सूक्ष्म है. What is my vision? What am I able to see? क्या मैं ये जो सब कुछ ऊपर दिखता है ऑन द पेरिफेरी, उसके पीछे के सच को देख पाती हूँ या नहीं देख पाती? तो जब आप वहां आएंगे तब आप समझेंगे कि अगर आप देखें भी तो इस पूरे अस्तित्व के लिए, पूरे एग्जिस्टेंस के लिए श्रेयस्कर क्या है कि वो अपने सहज भाव को जाने, बोध रूप में आए और वो करे जो उसे बोध तक ले जाता है. पॉपुलेशन एक्सप्लोजन हो रहा है ना, हम कहाँ बोध से बच्चे पैदा करते हैं. ओशो ने कहा था जन्म देना बहुत सुंदर बात है, किंतु किसी जीवन को जन्म देने से पहले स्वयं को जन्म दो. हमको स्वयं का पता है क्या? नहीं है ना. तो अभी हम तो जन्मे ही नहीं है, हम तो बस अभी फिजिकल फॉर्म में हैं, स्थूल हैं, ग्रॉस हैं. पर हमको आगे संतति बढ़ाने में, जनरेशंस बढ़ाने में बड़ी रुचि रहती. So then everything cannot be looked with the same eye. And subtle you get into, then you discover a different layer of it. इसीलिए साड़ियों में खो जाना या 2 या 3 में संतुष्ट हो जाना एक अच्छा उदाहरण है to understand this entire process. So it is not just about the economy and I am becoming instrumental in somebody. Do we really need that? Because every consumption that we do finally will hit us. It
Yeah,
may
that is true, Richa. But like, suppose what you are saying, like we are sitting 7 of us or whoever. Suppose I have understood. Suppose, for example, what you are saying, getting satisfied with limited things and all that, whatever you said, understood. But I am attached to so many people, like at home and all, and I am living in a grahastha, and I am in that society where all that is still there. I'm not a sannyasi or something where I can get away with 2-3 clothes and just be satisfied with. Even if I'm there, I cannot go to a marriage or to a function or something. According to me, I need to take care of all that till I'm there in this. So just by me being getting this, will it help me? What do you say? Won't be I getting resistance from many other people?
Can I?
Like because
can I-
everybody,
can I-
yeah, please,
Can I?
Shubha, yes, please.
Please.
So just about a year back, so I've got a defense background, so I'm very sensitive about what's happening on the borders. So when Galwan happened, we all, the incomplete Indian army, you know, everybody was very sensitive, and especially when you have your husbands as at the commanding areas, and you don't want your boys to, you know, go the wrong way, go south, you know.
Right.
So so there was this campaign which was going on, you know, that don't buy anything from China. And then people came up with something very funny कि क्या करें, जो Chinese products हैं उठा के हम गंगा जी में डाल दें या Arabian Sea में डाल दें. So that's not the idea. The idea is now whatever you have, now that you've come towards this path, so whatever you
Understand.
have, just, I'm sure at this stage you have sufficient to go through this marriage for
Right.
yourself, for yourself. So अगर जब हम ब्रह्मास्मि कहते हैं, तो it begins and actually ends with us. So if whatever we have, if I don't buy a new sari, and supposing somebody has arranged a nice party for us, and if we go in a khadi sari, maybe I'm not doing, justice to the spirit of that party. But whatever I have, if I can wear that in a good way and carry my good environment with it and all of that, I think that will, if you don't buy a new thing, if you put a stop to buying a new thing for yourself, if you turn, say, vegan for yourself at my age, supposing I stop drinking milk at my age, I think I have reached an age when I'm not growing any further. I don't need that kind of milk intake, Is that okay? Have
Yeah,
I
sure.
overstepped my limits?
No, not a problem.
Yeah, it's okay. No. Perfectly fine. Thank you.
So Komal ji,
Question here.
just coming to you. Okay.
My question is that it's all about stages we cross in our lives, and then we realize that this is not right and this is right, and this is where we go for. So my point is that it's all about us only. That is very sure. That is the reason I use that term AUM. It's Atma Unnati Manthan. Where you reach your Om, yourself. So very true on that part. Only thing is that we are so much, inflicted by the environment around us, people around us. Like Komal ma'am said, the environment around us. So we tend to actually get into that. I think that is Maya, what Richa is trying to explain to us. So how do we stay away from that? Very rightly said by Shubha ma'am. So I think that is where we need to bring ourselves. That is where Mahatma Gandhi or Lal Bahadur Shastri come in. Then I'm just taking that name for the sake of the. Maybe people have other thoughts about them. So I'm just taking the name because that is where you feel that leader is leading in that fashion. That is where.
So यहाँ पे कुछ बातें जिनका ध्यान will help us all.
Richa, you are mute.
कोमल जी, शादी में आप जो कपड़े पहनते हैं वो आप क्यों पहनते हैं? लोगों को दिखाने के लिए, प्रशंसा पाने के लिए, या उन कपड़ों को पहनने के बाद ही आपका कॉन्फिडेंस आता है, आपको अच्छा लगता है? अगर ये सारे कारण विद्यमान हैं तो बहुत सिंपली क्लियर है कि अभी आपको जो है वो इन्वायरमेंट चला रहा है, लोग चला रहे हैं, क्योंकि अभी आप अपने इमेज के लिए परेशान, अभी भीतर का तो कुछ घट ही नहीं रहा. Everything is external and everything is cross. So when we say that should I not buy, please ask why do you want to buy? And if buying is giving you that happiness or whatever, please know that right now you are externally oriented. So one at least must not cheat oneself using very strong words, but one must not cheat oneself by saying that I am internally going, I'm one who goes inwards, but is swayed by so many things just because this is needed by the external environment. So, because what will happen is, in the field of spirituality, two things are very, very important to start the journey. One is a deep, deep honesty to acknowledge what is. And I'm not saying that it is wrong that you want to buy a sari. No. But what will be wrong is that you buy a sari and you still say that I am moving inwards. Because there will be a conflict which will not allow you actually to move it. The problem is this will stop your growth inwards. But the moment you're able to acknowledge that, yes, I bought it, and it demands that I look good, and it demands that people experience me in the same stature that I have created for myself in the society, then you also know that, hey, see, I know I am being driven by these social norms, and those standards are dictating my behavior. So, of course, there is right now nothing as godliness, meditativeness, Brahma, etc. in me. And that's where the consciousness gets a jolt to rise. Do I want to stay like this? And the moment you say that I want to stay like this, you pick up that choice that you want to be like that. And you remember a little time back you were saying कि उसकी इच्छा है कि इतनी वैरायटी और हम उसमें घूमे नाचे, तो हम क्यों भोगे? उसकी इच्छा नहीं है, उसने वैरायटी बनाई है, परीक्षा आपकी छोड़ी है कि आप उस वैरायटी में घूमना चाहते हो या आप उसकी तरफ वन पॉइंटेड होना चाहते हो। तो उसमें माया ही मिलेगी, और माया के अपने तरीके हैं। माया भी तो उसी का हथियार है ना। It also comes from that only. If nothing but only that exists, then Maya is also because of that. Now, when Maya is also because of that, then what Maya will do? Finally, Maya will also ensure that you start looking towards him. And how will Maya do that? Maya will bring you all the possible suffering. And when you do not listen to the lower suffering, the magnitude of suffering will increase to the time that it's like you go crazy. No, this is not done. I am missing something. I have to move. And so Maya becomes the instrument or the reason or the cause because of which you actually move towards God.
Here's a point I would like to add, Ruchira. Because we have been brought into the world of Maya, renunciation altogether may not just be the angle of it. It could be a possibility that sometimes something that you intensely want to experience, that could again be a beautiful sari, you can experience it, but then you must have the art of attachment with detachment. Then you should also be not attached that you cling to it forever. And if somebody asks you, whoever, I mean, that aspect of that story of Karan versus Arjun giving a daan should also be there. You know that story, right?
Right.
Yeah. So that because we are brought up and born in the world of Maya, so all these will keep happening. It is just that there is nothing wrong in buying a sari because I wish. Please go ahead. But please also know that every such act will automatically slow down the pace of your movement towards Brahma. That's all. Nothing else will happen.
That is true. I agree with you.
So nothing else will happen.
But then sometimes, like how we must know the white for knowing the black, we must also have experiences also. If that is what the demand of your birth is, that some experiences you need to undergo and then learn detachment of that attachment to experience the duality. If you keep teaching your child, or if you keep, after a certain age, if you keep suppressing your desires, no, I'm listening to all this Upanishads, I shouldn't be doing this and that and all of that, then that is suppression. That is a clear case of suppression. That's not what we want. We want
it should happen naturally. If it is happening naturally, then only
so
you,
how will that
otherwise
happen?
you-
That will happen when you experience a bit of it and a bit of this, and
Right.
then you keep making this to be 60 and this 40 and so on.
Yeah, that gap you need to bridge on slowly. Yeah.
You see.
So Komalji,
Mind
do go
is-
ahead. Komalji, do go ahead and buy a couple of saris.
No, it's okay.
You see, mind is very, very, very shrewd. it will always find justifications for whatever it does. I would again emphasize and reiterate, it is not about suppressing at all. Remember, we said that when it itches, then itching is such a pleasure. How beautiful it would be that the itching does not arise only. So it is not about suppression at all. It is about coming to a state when the desires do not pull me. And when they come up, and if I look at them, I become conscious of them, I penetrate them, then how do they function? Most of the time, you will notice that when that will happen, if you look at them, they lose the power over you. That is very interesting. Now, desires are such, and the variety in the existence is such that one may want to experience this and that and that and that. And although at one point of time, there is just one thing that one wants to experience. However, this experience ends, the other experience desire comes up, that ends, the desire for the third experience comes up, and this actually tends to become a never-ending process. Where would you stop? Because life is too short to experience everything that the world offers, the existence offers. One cannot experience everything in this lifetime. So where do you stop? So then that's a conscious choice. And this happened, and
many lifetimes.
So
actually.
wonderful. So many lifetimes. So if this is what pulls you, attracts you, fascinates you, then Maya is for you. Just know that. Many lifetime is required. So many lifetime happens in what? In Maya. So that's fine. There is nothing right or wrong. अध्यात्म सही और गलत में नहीं चलता है. अध्यात्म बोध पे चलता है और illusion में चलता है. So it is okay to choose illusion, to know that this everything, the final law of existence, that every action will have its consequence. हर कार्य का कारण होता है और हर कारण का और हर कार्य का एक consequence होता है. ये चलता रहेगा. So if every lifetime is all right, so every time a lifetime will also bring you more experiences, and not all the experiences will be pleasant.
Good and bad.
And yeah, so one has to be then okay with that. Unfortunately, we are not okay with that. No, whenever there is a difficult thing coming to us, then there is a hue and cry within. You see the internal conflict, you see the internal bechani, the how difficult it is to handle anybody's demise, how difficult it is to even think that we make plans and plans fall off. कितना गुस्सा आता है यार, हम वहां घूमने जाने वाले थे, पैंडेमिक आ गया, हमारा घूमना रुक गया. One plan going off, it irritates us so much.
So even the so-called goodness also, the so-called like the people who have it all, let's say, they also relinquish everything, and then one day they kind of want to wander the forest and into the woods, or come to India or Bangladesh or one such country and serve the poor and all of that. So it's not only because one has bad experiences that one wants to give away or go away.
It's not
My
like that.
sincere
but
request would be
after we have done away with the whole thing and saying all this is a bullshit now. Like everything is experienced, we have all desires fulfilled, and then you understand ki, yes, no, there is something more to that, and then you come out and do something. And wounds also tells you towards that. Both the things can happen.
A sincere request is do not look at the actions. Actions do not matter. What matter is where is the action coming from?
What is the
Intention.
intention behind?
Right.
There is something beyond the intention. So to give you a gross example, which parent has a bad intention towards their child? No parent has. But are the parent really able to good to the child? You go to the parenting coach and every parenting coach
New
will
or
tell you
old?
the problem is with the parent, not with the child. The parent wants the child to be fixed and the coach will tell you, no, the parent needs fixing, not the child.
So the
So,
intention
there is-
intention कि मैं अपने बेटे को बेस्ट फुटबॉलर इसलिए बनाऊं क्योंकि मेरा बेटा बहुत कमाएगा, या इंजीनियर इसलिए बनाऊं क्योंकि because that is the intention, that is a wrong intention, not that कि भाई बच्चे का aptitude फिजिक्स में अच्छा है या उसमें अच्छा है तो उस तरह से उसको मतलब because he is inclined towards engineering.
I'll put it simply the way my master says is, there is something which is bigger than intention, and that is called awareness. My intention can be very genuine, very honest, but do I have the awareness to see that how to take through this intention? So I want to do good to you, but do I even know what is good for you? Unless I have that awareness, my intention will be null and void. So that's why here in the world of spirituality, we do not talk of intention, because I might have the purest of intention, but if I do not have that clarity, if I do not have that wisdom, if I am not free from conditioning, my awareness, my consciousness has not risen, and I'm not living in that awareness, I will not be able to do any good. So all the intentions will not be served.
So awareness is the same thing as driving the carbon cycle also. I mean, the impact of carbon cycle is awareness.
Awareness
And-
is to be able to see that subtle behind.
Yes, and the impact, the carbon impact, that could be the awareness. Whereas by moving the economy by product, that could be the intention. So awareness is seeing the larger picture. Is that what you want to say?
Awareness, it's very difficult to define it in words. Awareness is wherein you are able to see that truth in everything, the real nature of everything, although this is not really a very useful understanding for all of us. So yes, I'll go by what you are saying. Awareness is to be able to see the bigger picture and to see that everything that I do, how everything else is getting impacted, and is it bringing me closer to oneness? Is it bringing me closer to that centeredness, or is it taking me away from that? If everything can be just measured on these two questions, whatever I'm doing, is it taking me away from centeredness, or is it bringing me closer to that? That's all. Things are done. Yeah. So I think this is more useful for us. So, and that's where Brahm, etc. are good words, but they may not be very useful for us because our living experience is right now, of course, not that. We experience Maya day in and day out. And we experience conditioning day in and day out, in which we have been brought up and which our physical body carries. So just to be able to see where is it coming from and where is it taking me to will solve all the challenges.
Yeah, just one more line I'll speak here. Like you said, keep your example of you gave which parent has got a bad intention for their son. Moving beyond that, if I moving from body consciousness, then why I'm saying he's my son and I'm the mother and I have a good intention. If I just move away from that consciousness, that awareness brings in a different intention, you can say, and you just move away from there. You don't have the intention only. कि bad good तो बाद में रहता है कि whatever is okay I'm
इंटेंशन
doing.
का पूरा
Being aware.
महत्व खत्म हो जाता है, उसकी
होता है।
आवश्यकता खत्म हो जाती है. The
हो
need
जाती
of
है।
it goes off.
Yeah, because you're just doing and leaving it. Whatever you feel is okay, you do it and leave it.
So just a few last line of this Upanishad, and then we will be able to be done with it. Self-yugness is spoken of as the Atman, the entity of not that, also is spoken of the Atman. So it is not just that which is self-luminous that is called Atman. Even that which is not self-luminous is Atman. It is just that it is not perceived as Atman. It is not known as Atman. That which is beginningless, fruitful, open to both proof and disproof, neither real nor unreal. Neither real matlab, because it is the manifestation of it. It is the Maya, and hence it is not real, but not unreal. Why not unreal? Because it is finally coming from what is real. So what is coming from real? How can it be unreal? And that's why we see all these dichotomies. Through logic, you can actually explain both. Not real, unreal. So it is defying that it is neither real, neither it is not unreal, neither it is not real, unreal. In the world of duality, we will be stuck to real or unreal. And here the Rishi says it is even not real, unreal. So now you need to change your plane. You need to change your level. When because of the immutability of its own substratum, the cause of change is ascertained. So now the substratum, because of its own nature of immutability, that it can manifest in so many, and hence, and the cause of change is ascertained, existent when it is not so ascertained, which is undefiable, is called Maya. So this is how Rishi is coming to the definition of Maya. That which is coming from real, but is not real, because it does not appear to us as real. It is coming from substratum, but it has the potential of changing itself into various forms. So that is called Maya. Here ends the Sarvopanishad as contained in the Atharvaveda. This is where we end the Sarvopanishad. Yes, Shilpa, आप कुछ कह रहे थे? I'm so sorry.
No problem, because it's a heavy topic for me. So मैं कोशिश कर रही थी सबका सुनने का and समझने की. I just have one question, which is a little bit different. मेरा nature है, I want to be good to everyone and get along with everyone. जब veg और non-veg की बात आती है, I'm based in Hong Kong, I live in Hong Kong, so non-veg is very prevalent among Indians as well. और मैं strict Jain होने के कारण मैं अपने बच्चों को बहुत over protect करती हूँ when it comes to family occasions and friends occasions, which means I do not attend parties which has non-vegetarian food or alcohol in that. I had several issues with my close friends, very close friends, जो हमारे साथ New Year's है या कोई भी celebrations करना चाहते हैं, and their kids want meat and my kids I do not want to expose my kids. So I have been blamed as an unfair mother, because while I am being selfish for my child, I am not open-minded enough for other kids' requirement. Usme I am very clear what I want to do, but how do I reach to a middle point where mere bachcho ke, because they are very young, since young, possibly adult ho jayenge, so they will know how to handle themselves. But I do not want to confuse them कि parties में जाते हैं, friends खाते हैं, उनके बच्चे खाते हैं, तो ये चलता है. So अगर मैं expose नहीं करूँगी, मेरा assumption है, they will not get used to it and they will feel not comfortable in future with those things. So थोड़ा सा मुझे confusion था इसमें. So what is the right thing to do?
This is a very real scenario. ऐसा होता है और इसके ना दो possible consequence हो सकते हैं. One, your children actually go by what you are assuming, that they become stern, that nahi nahi hum to nahi khayenge, humne kabhi nahi chakha hai, we do not know what, blah blah blah. The other thing could be in peer pressure maybe, or some other influence. They just taste it, they like it, and then they say, no, we can't tell this to mom because she has never liked it. She has brought us in a way that we stay away from it. And so they eat, and you do not even come to it. And I know so many such people who eat non-vegetarian food, पर घर में वो बहुत pure जैन है. I really know many such people.
Even
So-
I know.
So it is not a very good idea to try to save them by not exposing them, but to have conversation with them about what is non-vegetarian food and why do we need to refrain from it.
Understanding is there. Understanding.
What it does to our entire system, bringing in the concept of sattva, rajas and tamas, and why it has been categorized into tamasic food. You know, I was talking to a friend of mine who is into, I think, armed forces or some naval forces, something. And we were talking, and they asked me, why don't you eat? I used to eat at one point of time. It is out of my compassion that I left all that. So they asked me, why don't you eat? And I simply answered, you know what? You may not realize it, but when you consume something of that kind, you are not just consuming the flesh and the bones. You will also consume the nature of that animal.
Emotions. that
Yes,
kind.
वो आएगा ही. राक्षस थे क्योंकि वो जानवर खाते थे, क्योंकि वो उस तरह की हिंसा करते थे, तो उनमें राक्षसपना था. So if you have to be violent, और इसीलिए क्षत्रियों में भी शिकार करके शिकार को खाने की पूरी प्रथा थी. जिनको युद्ध करना है उनको नॉन वेजिटेरियन होना ही पड़ेगा, बिकॉज दे नीड दैट अर्ज ऑफ किलिंग. वहां पे जाकर के आप कंपैशनेट हो जाओगे तो शत्रु ही आपको खा जाए. सो द डिस्कशंस with your children to tell them what is what, and maybe you can even clearly say, I do not want you to eat this for this reason. At the same time, you have your free will. Decide if you want to eat or not. To bring this, that to the tongue it might taste wonderful, but you have to choose if you want to be slave of the tongue by killing something, and you do not mind killing to satiate your taste, or you would like to be a compassionate being who likes or who respects each form of creature. अब इसमें ना बड़े तर्क आते हैं, कोमल जी. इसमें एक तर्क ये भी आता है कि भाई तुम नॉन वेजिटेरियन फूड नहीं खा रहे हो तो तुम साग सब्जी भी मत खाओ. एक ये तर्क भी आपको लोग देंगे, उसमें भी तो लाइफ होता है. प्रश्न सिर्फ जीवन का नहीं है, इसीलिए कंदमूल खाने के लिए ऋषि कहते थे. वो साग सब्जी भी नहीं खाते थे. बट वी कैन नॉट बी लाइक दैट. एटलीस्ट जो चेतना, जो कॉन्शियसनेस साग सब्जियों में है, उससे कहीं ज्यादा चेतना पशुओं में है. एटलीस्ट वी कैन स्टॉप किलिंग हायर लेवल स्टफ and we eat something which has much lower level of consciousness. At least do a much smaller sin than doing a bigger sin. And at the end of the day, this entire discussion boils down to one thing: how do you relate to everything in the existence? Where is your level of compassion? Is it at place or not? बाकी सारे साइंटिफिक तर्क कुतर्क सब आप दे दोगे, हार जाओगे. बात यही पे बस आती है कि क्या अपने जीभ की तुष्टि के लिए किसी की हत्या करना और उसको खाना उचित है या नहीं.
So there is one more angle to it, which I keep telling my children too, that more importantly, it is also your consumption. The quantity also matters. अगर हम लोग vegetarian भी खा रहे हैं and we are eating, cooking so much, char sabziyan, and and then the food is not judiciously utilized, that itself is also ahimsa. That itself is also ahimsa.
Hinsa.
Sorry, hinsa. Sorry. That itself is also hinsa, which we also see, in everyday households.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
That's
let's not
definitely
talk
like
about
the next
parties.
level.
हाँ तो होता ही है.
That's
That
the reason
definitely
there
is the
was
next level.
one ad which used to come in Doordarshan, if you remember. एक अन्न का दाना बचता था तो और कृष्ण जी आते थे मैं भूखा हूँ, you know.
Jungle
So,
mein mangal.
you know,
I
and
remember it so well.
so and I remember my father always said, "You don't leave anything in your plate. So completely, you should not waste your food." That is where I think ma'am is saying
Ideally,
we should not.
everything, what you're saying, Arvind,
But
is
it's
so
not
right.
about again, cooking, limited cooking, and then limited consumption. Yeah, I think that is what we are actually talking about. Even in the saris for that matter, we should buy what is good for us. So not for.
I am seeing Arvind ji really, going to take the sari thing too far.
इतनी सारी सारी और
just
इतना
being-
सारा संसार.
Arvind ji is tired of buying saris for his wife.
Yes, my son,
So,
he says, "Ma, when I open your wardrobes, everything is falling on me." That's the way he says. I said, "भैया, तुम्हारी तो अभी बहू नहीं आई है, तुम ऐसे अपनी माँ के लिए बोलते हो."
so I think it's
Actually, if
time
you look
and
one last line. If you look at last 2 years, I think we haven't purchased the way we used to purchase.
That's true.
And we are living very happily,
Yes.
So that is
Arvind,
where all those.
That is not the criteria of
For a
happiness.
lot
Buying
of
anything
people-
actually is not.
for a lot of people, when this pandemic actually eased out, they went madly to buy. So those 1.5 years was a huge year of suppression, and now it is bursting out like pressure. Anyways, so
Spring.
to just sum it up, it is about consumption, and consumption is not just through mouth. Consumption happens through eyes, what we are seeing. Consumption happens through ears, what we are listening. Consumption happens through every moment what we are doing, because everything is becoming part of our being. So how are we consuming? If we can be a little conscious towards that, a lot will start getting sorted out. Yeah.
Just one last thing I'll say before we end, because I thought it should help the one who asked this question. Like she's living in Hong Kong and she's Jain, and non-veg is quite popular there. Only one thing I would like to say, if it can help her, is never tell your children, because we are Jains, you don't have to go there. Just explain why Jains don't eat and why this
Shilpa,
Jainism came into being and what is Jainism. Just explain a little bit that, instead of just saying because we are Jains, we don't eat. Jains don't
because
eat.
of
So who are
this
Jains?
reason-
Explain all this, right? And along with that, the drawbacks of non-veg and all you can tell, and then you can leave it on that. I think so.
It is because of this
it's-
only that you are seeing this thing in US, that people say that I do not belong to any religion. That is now what is happening in space of religion. You have this liberty that I do not belong to any. So this tend to happen. A lot of people question. I read in in some news that there was one boy who converted his religion because he said, I was being told I should be doing this, but nobody told me why should I be doing this. I could not understand it. It looked as if everything was being pushed upon to me, and I do not like that. So he just converted his religion, and many such things keep happening.
Yeah. Then
And-
revolt also happens sometimes.
And today's
Instead of getting
generation,
inspired, children revolt.
no, there will be no inspiration. Where is the inspiration, Komalji? How will the inspiration come? And today's generation wants to know That is
Yeah,
one thing
why
that's
of
very
education.
strongly evident. So you must look at finding answers to the question, and honestly say if you do not know the answer, that I really do not know, but I'll definitely try to find it.
Yeah,
That will
we'll
help.
find out together.
Okay,
Thank you.
welcome. Okay, so let's do the prayer and then we close. If you know it, you can speak with me. Otherwise, you can just be with it. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Thank you, Richa. Thank you.